Going live. We're going live. All right, this is taking. Oh, here we go.
We're going live.
There it is. Sorry, guys. It takes a few seconds for this to queue up, and I'm still getting all of this together, so. And there's a little delay. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's a little noisy outside because they are cleaning up all the snow.
Sorry, guys.
We got massively dumped on this week. Oh, I need to turn my volume down.
Getting all of this together.
So we got massively dumped on this week, and oh shit, Stuntman Mike is here. What up, Stunt?
All right, so here we are.
So yeah. Anyways, it might be a little loud with trucks going by and whatnot, which is not the usual.
Because they are cleaning up all the snow. Sorry, guys.
What the hell?
We got massively dumped on.
Sorry, I gotta turn my volume down. Well, you act like I never live streamed before. So, anyways, lots to talk about tonight, and I do want to talk about some specific things, but I want to wait till we get more people in the room before I start going into it. So, oh shit, we got Classy Ulysses, Cyberwick. Don't assume. We're gonna talk about Zack Snyder's Justice. I feel like we're gonna be talking about Justice League for probably a good, I'd say a month, at least another month. We're gonna be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League and beyond, of course. But I think for the next month, it's gonna kind of dominate the conversation unless something else crazy, something else crazy could happen. But I think that's gonna dominate the conversation for a good while, and with good reason. This is it's a monumental event that's happening, and you simply you can't deny that. I don't care where you're coming from on the spectrum of Zack Snyder's Justice League. You can't deny the overall impact that this is going to have, that is having right now, just by the sheer magnitude of it actually happening. Again, I have stated before that I did not anticipate that this would last beyond, or that it would come so soon. I thought it would last beyond, another decade, 2 decades, if we ever saw it. So, definitely some interesting stuff. So, but I have not seen the movie. Full disclosure, I have not seen Zack Snyder's Justice League yet. I am waiting patiently to possibly have to get a screener. We'll see if that happens. I don't know if it will. I don't have the same pull that I had before, which is okay. I took a step back while still remaining in the zeitgeist of this movie stuff, because I always have been. I've never been defined by an organization. I've always just been myself. I've been a fan just like you guys, and I've always chased that. So. But anyways, we'll see what happens. I have reached out and attempted and may or may not get Zach and Debbie for the podcast. I've asked nicely. We'll see what happens. I hope it does. But, they're busy people. They're getting tapped out. And, even though, Zach really does make an effort to go out and to go on fan podcasts and things like that, and or lesser known podcasts and things of that nature, he's still going to get pulled in the corporate direction. You can't deny that. You can't get away from it. So you're going to see him on the bigger places. You'll see him on Joe Blow. You'll see him on Comic Book and all those other places. So, but we're trying to get him. I'm trying to get him for a much longer discussion because I want to talk to him, and I want to talk to Deb too. I don't think Debbie gets recognized enough for what she has to offer, and I think that we need to hear from her. We don't hear from her enough. And when I talked to her on the set of Army of the Dead, she was so just sweet and nice and thankful and grateful and just really invested in the craft. She was awesome, just walking around talking about Army of the Dead stuff. So, Class Ulysses, I'm seeing the movie in theaters. Dude, I really want to see it in theaters. Adam Meeks, I rented a movie theater just to watch it. If it comes to a theater here, I will go see it. I don't know if it's going to or not, so we'll see. I just don't know. Like, theaters are so crazy right now. It's hard to know if we're gonna be. I mean, that would be ideal. I mean, shit. I saw Justice League twice in theaters. So, you know, I'm sure I could spare a watch for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I have no problem. I would love to. I actually bought tickets this morning for Godzilla vs. Kong to see that in theaters. So I know I could see that. So I did buy tickets for that, and it was pretty awesome. Holy shit, Adam Meeks, you paid $500 to rent out the theater. Is it weird that I don't even feel like that's that bad? I don't. I think it's. I mean, it's. You know, again, this is a. I can't imagine, or I can't think of another time where something like this has happened. So, and plus, it's 4 hours. I mean, you get 4 hours of this movie. That's pretty epic, right? So that's pretty cool. So, anyways, I know you guys are starting to tune in, and for those that tune in late, well, that's too bad. Oh wait, Classy. Paul watched Attack on Titan from season 1 to 4. It's like Game of Thrones, but better. Yeah, Adam, I get that. So, like, you know, for $500, you can, you know, you get everybody to chip in a little bit. It's not that bad, you know. And plus, it's all with your friends in the theater, so makes it a lot easier. Classy. I've seen Attack on Titan, but that stuff, like, is pretty freaky. I get it. I understand why people like it. I'm just I'm not as up on my anime shit. Javier, I wish I could see Justice League in an IMAX screen, dude. I mean, that would be ideal, right? I mean, that's what the whole purpose of Zack's aspect ratio that's going on HBO Max is all about, is so that we could see it in IMAX. That would be ideal. So, shit, I'm with you, man. Fuck, maybe one day, you know, maybe one day we'll get there. And depending on the success of Zack Snyder's Justice League on screens, then we'll see, right? So that's the hope. So anyways, let's get down to it. I don't expect tons of people coming in. It's Friday night. People are probably out doing their own thing. And, well, this is what I'm doing. If I don't get a link tonight, I will probably watch Cherry. I read the book Cherry. And I didn't much like it. I didn't like the protagonist. I didn't like Tom Holland's character. We talked a little bit about this on the Beard and the Bald podcast. And I'm going to give it a look, but I like the Russo brothers. They really surprised me with their work, but the guy in Cherry, the real guy, he's a fucking asshole. And I don't like him. And I'm pretty sure he served in the exact same place that I did in Iraq based on reading the book. I don't know for sure, but it sounds like it, which is the Triangle of Death. That's what they call it. It's just south of Baghdad. And it sounds like, I almost think that we came in on the rotation directly after them. I don't know. I could be wrong. We'll see. I may never know. But, you know, he's not a sympathetic character in the book, and I understand that they make him very sympathetic in the movie because he's Tom Holland, right? He's Spider-Man. They want a nice guy. So, anyways, let's see. Classy, it's the most watched in the United States. I believe you, man. Classy also says he watched Tom and Jerry with the family, and they love it. I thought it was all right. I didn't watch it. I did. I put on Tom and Jerry when I heard that Justice League was showing on accident, and I was like everybody else, man. I was like, oh shit! But it was fucking Tom and Jerry, so I didn't get to watch it. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get down to it. Let's talk about reactions to Zack Snyder's Justice League. So everybody's under embargo. I would be under embargo if I have seen it. I have not seen it. Again, to be clear, I have not seen Zack Snyder's Justice League yet. I know many people that have. I have spoken to many people offline, and I won't disclose who all these people are. So you'll just have to take my word for it. I have not spoken to a single person that had like any kind of critique in a negative way whatsoever. Everybody that I talked to has been blown away by it. And people that I kind of anticipated wouldn't like it, like loved it. Didn't just like it, loved it. So ultimately, people are seeing this. It seems to be going out in waves. I'm not sure how the screeners seem to be going out like it's like they're spacing them out for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what the logic is behind it, but whatever. They're probably coming from different places too, so that is also a factor. But yeah, I have heard nothing but outright praise for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and one of the main things I've heard is that, which we all suspect or know, is that it is a radically and completely different movie than what you expect. Or maybe it is what you expect, if that's depending on how invested you are in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But it is. Oh, look, Jeremy Edwards. What's up, Duddy? All right, we got Jeremy Edwards in. Oh man, they're tearing down my fort. I built the snow fort yesterday, and it's right outside my house, and they're literally bulldozing it. I'm watching it. R.I.P. Fort. Welcome, Jeremy. Glad you can join in. Javier, what do you think the giant cliffhanger at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League will be? Well, I kind of know, and I kind of don't, because the people that I talked to be honest, I was like, dude, don't fucking spoil it. Like, I don't want spoiler. I wanted general reactions, which is what I'm kind of giving to you without violating any trust or anything from anybody. I can't give specific details, but I know everybody's hungry for thoughts on what people are thinking about the movie. So yeah, I get it. And I think I can share a little bit of that. I don't have to report to anybody except myself. My kid, I have to feed him and also educate him. So anyways, there's a lot of hype behind this from critics. And I think a lot of people they're very excited. I see it on Twitter too. A lot of people that I know that have seen it to say, hey, I've seen something cool. I can't talk about it. Ultimately, the biggest thing there is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Some of the other things that people are seeing, they saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which sounds like it's going to be a lower impact initial episode. Jeremy, let's see. If I come to Alaska, can I come watch a movie with you and Bucky? Yeah, man. Yeah, got to see this. I mean, it's where we've been watching it. I'm in my living room right now, so my office is being renovated. This is not where I'm going to be live streaming from forever. I will have a more professional setup. But I'm not going to sit around and wait to start doing stuff just because, life is short, and I don't want to miss a thing. So, I'm just going to get started now here in my living room. So this is where we would watch it. Bucky's over here. He's chilling. He's in his kennel right now because he would get crazy. And then you guys would just hear me yelling at him doing crazy shit. But he's cool. He's chill. He's good. Javier, the wait is literally killing me. Bro, you and me too. Like, I mean, for real. Like, I'm dying to see this damn movie. Adam Meeks, do you think it's big enough and people make enough noise WB will consider investing in completing Zack's story in one way or another? Classy, I'm really excited but kind of upset that they killed Superman and BVS before Justice League. Well, I've said it before, and I feel like there should have been a Batman movie sandwiched between Man of Steel and BVS. That's just my personal feeling. And plus, who wouldn't have wanted to see a Zack Snyder directed Batman movie, right? With Ben Affleck, or even a Ben Affleck directed Batman movie before Batman v Superman. I think it would have saved a lot of time in BVS, and I think it would have allowed them to actually tighten the story. I love BVS, but I still have problems with the narrative structure because I don't think that it needed to quite be as long as it was. I don't mind that it's 3 hours. I'm not sure that it needed to be that long. There's a lot of exposition that I think could have been handled in a solo Batman film. That's always been my feeling. But it is what it is. And I actually just watched BVS the other night. I'm still trying to get caught up. I want to make sure I'm fresh. I got all this stuff in my head, and I love it. I did not love BVS when I first saw it in theaters. I walked out of that theater thinking, man, there were so many things I loved and so many things I really did not. And a lot of that comes down to the theatrical cut, right? Speaking of which, HBO Max is talking about releasing, or not talking about, they are releasing the BVS expanded aspect ratio. I know there's some thought about whether or not there's going to be additional footage. I haven't heard anything about additional footage, but I'm interested to check out the expanded edition. I'm kind of like miffed because I just watched it on regular. Damn it. Let's see. Javier, Paul, do you see the white storyboards with the original plot for 2 and 3 for the Dallas exhibit? What did you think of them? I did. I saw them just the other day, or actually I saw them yesterday, and I looked at them closer today. I think it's cool. I know that Zack has changed things since then, but I still think that he has a story to tell. So, but you guys had asked about the cliffhanger ending. Again, I don't know what the cliffhanger ending is, but I know that it's big. Okay, so the cliffhanger ending is a big deal, and is something that, so ultimately Zack Snyder's Justice League is not going to wrap up all neat and nice with a bow. It's not going to be a one and done, like, oh hey, I just watched 4 hours and that was it, it's over and there's no more story to be told. What I have heard is ultimately that it is going to, that it leaves the door not only open, but it's like knock the walls down. So there's absolutely room to continue this story, and Zack did not compromise, I guess, in terms of what his initial vision was, minus the few things that he changed. So I think ultimately what it is it's leaving that wide open. Okay, you guys are asking about when does the BVS drop. I guess, yeah, it's on HBO Max now. I think I watched it on my iTunes, but I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, without going into any details, and I don't want to betray anybody's trust that shared their thoughts and feelings with me, or mess up anybody's embargo breaks, including my own if I get a screener for it. I think there's absolute reason to be excited. I think there's absolute reason to expect greatness. People that I've spoken to, including people that I saw the Justice League in London for the initial premiere, that were very vocal about not liking it, have seen Zack Snyder's Justice League and absolutely loved it, and just said that it is amazing. So, yeah, it's definitely, I think, superseding expectations, and I think a lot of people, especially after Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, we've seen what it means to have these lengthier films, and it's not a problem. Again, I think Zack is ahead of the game. He's ahead of his time, just like he was with Watchmen and a lot of and I think with BVS. I think that people have grown and matured, including critics, as audience members, as people watching these movies, and have collectively said, okay, 3 hours actually is awesome. Like, that is great. And here we have 4 hours for Zack Snyder's Justice League, but 3 hours, they can accept easily now, because we just did. It's the highest grossing movie of all time, Avengers Endgame. So, unless Avatar beats it in China, which I guess is altogether possible. I guess we'll see on that one. Let's see. You guys are talking about the BVS remaster. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I don't know about physical copies or anything like that. So, but anyways, back to Zack Snyder's Justice League reaction. So, listen, everybody that I've spoken to loves it. I haven't. If there's anybody that doesn't like it, and I'm sure that there are, you need to be prepared for that, of course. But everybody that I've spoken to personally has loved it and has sung its praises. And again, expect a completely different movie than what you got with Zack Snyder's Justice League. Or I'm sorry, with with Joss Whedon's Justice League, because I don't even, Zack Snyder's name may be on it, but that's not his film. But what I wanted to really talk about in relation to that is how people are going to react, okay? The biggest problem that I foresee, because the movie seems to be meeting these expectations and exceeding them, and because it's getting such great reception, what's ultimately going to happen is there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get on Twitter, and they're going to start attacking Warner Brothers. They're going to start attacking Walter Hamada. They're going to start attacking all of these people because they're going to be like, how could you? Why was this not originally released? What is wrong with you? You guys, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be that kind of backlash, I foresee. And then there's going to be backlash, or not so much backlash, but rather attacks. I foresee this happening. And I've already seen it happening, actually. Already seen it on Twitter, where it's this restore the Snyderverse thing is now turning into a demand. It's like, hey, we won this, now we're going for this. There's a way to go about this, and I'm positive that like the vast majority of people that really, really, really want to see Zack Snyder's Justice League and are super pumped for it are going to love it. The worst thing you can do is go after Warner Brothers and start attacking people, start attacking all the people involved basically prior to and up to this actually happening. It's not going to help the situation in any way, shape, or form, and it's not going to restore the Snyderverse in that way. The best thing that you can do is to respond positively to the movie if you genuinely feel that way, which I think most of you will, and watch it, stream it, buy merch, buy physical copies, do all of that stuff, and show your support in a positive way, right? So the worst thing you can do, though, is start blowing people up on Twitter, okay, and hitting them up and just attacking them. I don't know why people, like, literally kids at my door. Buggy, chill. Kids at my door, they want to play with my son. Bucky, relax. Oh my God, stand by. Guys, you cannot come out. Fuck. Oh, the neighborhood kids. I told you guys there's going to be disruptions. Anyways, the biggest problem that I've seen and that I think we're going to continue to see is people are going to start jumping on this bandwagon of, Warner Brothers really screwed up. They should not have, ever, fucked with Zack and fucked with his vision, because look at this masterpiece that we have now and look what you've done. And that's bad. That's just going to piss people off. It's going to really make the fandom look ugly. And the truth is, it's going to disrupt all the good stuff that everybody did in order to get this far. And I just think that, as fans, that they should learn from this and respond positively and just keep watching the movie, buy the movie. I don't know, there's merch, there's DC merch. I don't think that's going to help all that much, but, if you could buy a physical copy when it comes out, I know I will. I'm sure many of you will if you're a completist. But the attacks that I foresee coming based on what the movie is, I think are going to be problematic. So, you guys know who it is. So you need to dissuade them from being so. All right, I'm going to take a look what everybody's talking about here. Let's see here. Adam Meeks, I don't think there's anything wrong with us organizing, create a positive buzz with Restore the Snyderverse. Not attacks or spamming, but more so the November 17th event. So that is a good point. Yes, there's nothing wrong with the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse, okay? Absolutely. In fact, I would encourage it. What I don't encourage, though, and what I've already seen, is kind of this smug, spiteful attack type stuff where you're tagging WB. It's the same kind of shit that we saw with, the Snyder Cut, where people get in there and they're like, oh man, like you guys, like you're full of shit, and hang everybody and kill everybody, and that was ever involved in this. That's going to be a problem. So, I want to see I would love to see Zack Snyder continue to work on these films, and I think that he's set it up that way, very much so. So what it's better to support that than demand that. And I think, again, just like Adam Meeks has said here in the chat, there's a way to do that. It's almost like it's like the Martin Luther King way of doing things. Like, let's organize peacefully, and put ourselves out there in that way. Again, this is not quite civil rights. We're demanding entertainment here. Let's be clear about that. But there's a way to do this. Let's see here. Armando's my kid grounded. He's not. My kid is playing. He got the Predator game and we have neighborhood kids who are they just want to play, but my kid's a little older. And he just wants to play his video games this Friday night, and he doesn't want to go out in negative 10 degrees and play in the snow. And they just come and ring the doorbell. They're just like, come out and play. You guys know, anybody that's grown up with kids in your neighborhood, there's always those kids that come to your house, like, no matter what. Like, there could be hail coming from the sky, and they'll be like, ding dong, you want to come out and play? They're always there. Class Ulysses, I stay away from the negativity, spamming WB every post, attacking executives and others. Not all, but some fans need to relax. Well, I think all fans should relax. I think this is such a monumental win, and it has to do so much with the fans, but it was the positive fans that made the difference, okay? Let's just be very clear on that. It's the positive fans that made this happen. It's not, these guys that are out there, like, calling for people's jobs and, trying to create drama where there isn't drama and just really making it about them. This is still just entertainment. It's art, okay? It's ultimately commerce when you boil it down to its brass tacks. But there's just a way to go about this. And I think I foresee it. Just mark my words, you're going to see this negative pushback. And I just say don't amplify it, It's just not going to do any good. It's not going to help that process along. It's Stuntman Mike. He's the number one suspect. Probably I love Stuntman Mike. He's always getting himself in trouble. Javier, I hope the majority of people just stick with Restore the Snyderverse, not attacking anyone. Hopefully Jason Kilar steps up and gives Zack an HBO Max exclusive deal. I think Jason Kilar is, he's the tip of the spear in terms of HBO Max. So, that's the guy that you kind of want to, like, say, hey man, like, this is what we're excited about. This is what we love. This is what we enjoy. Give us more of that, but we have to show it with the numbers. So, everybody's got to show up. There's there was something we were talking about earlier this week on Twitter, which is this whole concept of I'm gonna get HBO Max, watch the movie for a week, and then maybe some people are like, I'm gonna rip it or whatever, steal it, and then cancel HBO Max because fuck those guys. Again, the wrong way to go. If they don't see subscriber count go up as a result of Zack Snyder's Justice League, then once again, the incentive is kind of like, well, that didn't really move the needle in any way, shape, or form. So if you're not going to move the needle, are you going to continue to invest in properties that don't increase your sub count? Of course not. They're not going to do that. Armando, I did not watch the Snyder Cut. I am waiting on a link. We'll see if I get one. They're kind of divvying them out strangely, so I don't know. I don't know why. It's just a strange way that they're doing it. I don't have the same. I don't have the same pull that I had earlier or last year, and that's okay. So we'll see what happens. I have spoken to many people that have seen it. So I'm just trying to share some of that without giving away any spoilers or violating anybody's trust in doing so. Let's see. Ironically enough, there was zero hype for Justice League when it first came out, and we didn't know the extent of the truth. They need concurrent subscribers to go up. Not only HBO Max subscriptions need to go up, they need to stay up. Yes, so, it's a rub, right? Like, you're thinking, oh, great, I got to subscribe to this service, in order to get what I want, and people are like, well, why can't I just get what I want? But listen, what you're subscribing for is HBO Max, which is the place that made Zack Snyder's Justice League happen. If there was no HBO Max, this would not happen. So the people that are like, I'm just going to watch the movie and then fuck off. Dude, that's just like you're completely going against this entire model, the commerce aspect of art that is funding this art. That's what you need to look at. It's like think of it as the endowment of the arts, right? For HBO Max, for Zack Snyder's Snyderverse, it's HBO Max that ultimately got Zack Snyder's Justice League made. So if you're gonna subscribe and then just unsub, and you're only there for a month, like they see a slight uptick and then just a huge drop off. then that's exactly what's going to tell them. It's like, well, people are just signing up and then either ripping the movie or just watching it and then waiting for video, and that's that. But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about HBO Max. HBO is awesome. Like that. I don't know anybody that hates HBO. Like, I've been watching HBO since I was a child. I remember, I'm sure a lot of you do, showing my age, we would wait for whatever the new Saturday night movie was, and they had the HBO, like, opening logo things, like, da 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 da. And you're like watching like you go through the city and then it comes out to the logo and it's like feature presentation. Like, I love that. Like, HBO is kind of like a staple for me. Like, I just grew up with it. I was not paid by HBO to say any of this. This is like genuinely, like, I love HBO. I've discovered so many movies on HBO. Like, HBO is probably where I saw the movie that made me, that pulled me into loving film as an art form. And it was Revenge, Tony Scott's Revenge, which they played late at night on HBO all the time. And I would turn it on. I was like, man, there's just something about this movie that I just love. It was the style, the look, everything. And Madeline Stowe was hot, of course. But there was just something about it that I was just like, man, this is amazing. And then I remember I watched Top Gun a couple days or weeks later, and I was like, this looks just like that movie Revenge. And this was before the internet. So I went to the bookstore and I got one of those movie guides and I flipped through and I went, it's like, okay, who's the director of Revenge? I was like, Tony Scott. And then I looked up Tony Scott, cross-referenced it, and I was like, what else did he direct? And I was like, holy shit, am I a Tony Scott fan? Top Gun, Crimson Tide, Last Boy Scout, like all these great movies. And that was where it happened. So this is HBO where this happened for me. HBO also makes tons of great original programming. Okay, so many great shows, I mean, Game of Thrones, True Detective, Watchmen, all this great stuff that they've done. So ultimately, I'm not sales pitching you on subbing to HBO. I'm just telling you, like, for me, it's an easy sub. I've had HBO. I've never not had HBO, to be honest with you. I had it when it was just cable. Now I have the HBO Go app. I pay for it every month, and it's well worth it. It pays for itself every month. So yeah. Ultimately, though, that's my point. You want to support the Snyderverse. You want to see the Snyderverse. Don't be that guy that's like, oh, I'm just going to watch the movie and then unsub. People are going to do that anyways. Don't be that guy. Show your support. It's kind of like putting your money where your mouth is. And you may think, well, I don't have to pay them. Like, well, yeah, you do. You do. I do. People, they want to get paid for what they're putting out there, and that's one of those things. So, all right, let me take a look at questions here, see what you guys are saying, because I kind of been going on tangents here. Any word on the quality of the VFX given the time frame of the companies had to complete it? From JP3. Hey, Board of Work, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Board of Work has been following me on Twitter for a long time. I subbed to his YouTube channel as well. So great. Awesome guy. And just appreciate that. Thank you. So anyways, yeah, Armando, HBO probably has the best TV shows. Yeah, without question. Lord of the Rings Extended Edition is on there. HBO Max, Javier say HBO Max is unmatched. Listen, Netflix has great shows. Disney Plus, I mean, come on. We all watched WandaVision and then just turned it off. Like, we'll turn it back on for Captain America, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and when that's over, we'll turn it off again. There's nothing else really there unless you have kids and you kind of, that's a good place for them, and you can put them in front of it, and that's awesome, right? So that's very cool. But they don't have the same amount of content that you can get anywhere else. Same thing for Amazon Prime. I go through Amazon Prime and I'm like, I'll look at their, new movies suggested. And it's like they just recycle them. It's a good assortment, but it's like all the same assortment. Whereas HBO Max, they have movies. They have Turner Classic Movies. They now have Adult Swim. You can watch all of Samurai Jack. I like Samurai Jack quite a bit. So, I mean, they just have so much stuff, so much content on HBO Max. It's an easy sub. Again, I'm not telling you to subscribe to HBO Max. Nobody's paying me from HBO Max to tell you to do this. All I'm saying is that if you want to see the Snyderverse, if you want to see more, you got to invest at least at a minimum, at least keep your subscription. And it's an easy keep. Okay. I can't speak to everybody's, financial situation, but hey, everybody's getting a stimmy. So that's coming up. So you can put that towards your HBO Max budget and consider that towards your Snyderverse budget. So that's something there for you. Okay. Let me get back to questions here. Let's see. Tony Scott was special. He was the one celebrity death I was really broken up about so far. Yeah, the first for me was Brandon Lee when I was a kid in 90, 92, 93. I was just shocked that he was like my favorite emerging action star. I was like, man, Brandon Lee is awesome. He's going to be so great. And then he got killed. And I was just like, I was truly like, wow, like my hero. Like this guy, he's just an actor, but I loved him. And I was like, damn, that sucks. And then Tony Scott, my favorite director, commits suicide. I was like truly just devastated. Those are really two horrible deaths. And Board at Work, you had also asked, like, what are the odds that we get more content in the Snyderverse? I think all of that hangs in the balance in terms of what HBO Max sees in their back end, because these streaming companies, they don't share their numbers with us, right? They don't share them. They're not going to. They don't have to. It's not like theatrical where you find out what the opening box office was and then you're like, oh, look, X and Y was a hit. Now, basically, if it's not a hit, these streaming services, they don't even have to tell you that. In fact, they could just tell you it was a huge hit and leave it at that, and you're not going to know it. You're not going to be any the wiser. They also don't have any, that I'm aware of, any legal reason that they have to share that data. So ultimately, I think that what Zack has set up with Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we'll all know by next week what that is, leaves the door beyond wide open. So there's absolutely a story to continue to tell. Will they allow him to continue to tell that? I think that's going to be contingent on how many people tune in, how many people stay tuned in, and how many subs they get and how many subs go up. And again, I think critical reception is going to be huge too. And I really do feel like, based on the discussions that I've had so far, that critical reception is going to be night and day between this and the Justice League. So that's another thing to consider. Italian Pollock, hey Paul, I'm confused if Zack Snyder's Justice League is canon. Zack is saying it's not, but didn't James Wan and Patty Jenkins say that they treat it as canon? I think ultimately Zack just made his movie. So in this sense, Zack just said, I'm going to make the movie that I was always going to make. But I don't think we're far enough along in the DCEU timeline to really be that concerned, right? Also, keep in mind that the Flashpoint movie is going to change everything. So everything that we have kind of anticipated and everything that we've weighed out in terms of, okay, this happens, then this happens, and this happens, this happens. Now the multiverse is going to come. So we have this, line, and now it's going to be like, whoop, 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 and it can all intersect and come back. It's the same thing that Marvel is doing. And honestly, I'm all for it. There needs to be some threading that ties together and stays tied together. But ultimately, I think it's great because it's going to allow us to allow filmmakers and storytellers to bring in ideas and concepts and play with them in a way that they're not beholden to some movie that's being made 3 years from now. So I think that's great. I think that's awesome. So I think that is ultimately what's happened with Zack, is he just made his movie. So he could continue making his, Justice League saga that he'd always intended to make. And I think the most caught up we are is what? Aquaman? And Aquaman was just kind of very much its own movie, kind of happened in a vacuum in many ways. So I guess you could say Shazam, but even with Shazam, again, these are movies that just kind of happened in their own little world. So in terms of what those implications have for the rest of the DCEU, I don't think they really matter all that much. Okay, let me get back to questions here. Carlos, enjoying the show. Thanks, man. Appreciate you watching. Wanted to say thank you for serving. Thank you for saying that. Ray Fisher just put out a reactionary of him watching it. I think Ray Fisher's probably having a great day today. Cyborg's story, as we know, plays huge in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And, one of the people that I talked to that saw it said that, they kind of see why Ray Fisher felt so slighted after watching the movie. So I think that's going to give a lot of perspective, probably some perspective to me as well. I've been a little perplexed sometimes with Ray Fisher, and I've been vocal about that on the podcast. I have all the respect in the world for him, but I've questioned kind of his tactics in terms of like what he's trying to accomplish. But I think ultimately he's somebody that was really just proud of his work, and it wasn't being seen. And that's the same thing that Zack felt. So I think they're both being vindicated. Classy, I have a Crunchyroll, Funimation, Netflix, Amazon, HBO Max, and Hulu. I have a lot of those. I think I have all those. I don't have Crunchyroll or Funimation, but yeah. Bored at work, you do a great job. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Armando, I think it's better certain movies go to streaming because if a movie was a box office failure, it has that stink following it to DVD and people won't watch the movie. But if they stream it, people will watch. So an interesting thing about that, right, is you guys remember American Pickle, the Seth Rogen movie that came out on HBO Max. I don't know if you guys watched it. I watched it with my girlfriend. We laughed a few times, but ultimately we didn't like it. It was kind of cold and just it really went in a weird direction by the time it got to the end, and we ultimately didn't care for it. And I remember Seth Rogen talking about how it seemed like most critics didn't care for it anywhere. And he came out and he was like, it's actually kind of nice that this can fail quietly. Those aren't his exact words, but ultimately what he was saying is that it can fail quietly on a streaming service where you don't have like box office reports and that Monday headline or Sunday headline that's like Seth Rogen's American Pickle is exactly that or some shit like that. Nobody's reporting about streaming numbers like that, right? When have you seen a streaming headline that says, whatever movie du jour on streaming was a flop? Never. I've never heard that, and I'm sure that some probably have been. So that's kind of the blessing of streaming. Let's see here. Javier Patty said DCU directors toss Justice League out of the window as much as the fans did. I love her. Yeah. I just, I can't imagine. I mean, I remember I went to London and saw Justice League initially when they were doing that push, and I'll tell you, they were scrambling. The reps who are, this is why I don't like to see people attacking, the WB people, because I will tell you honestly, when I was at Joe Blow, working with the WB people are some of the sweetest, nicest people. They really are they're really great people. And ultimately they're put in charge of selling a product. Okay. And they round up critics, they round up influencers, they round up, people like me, people like, that from all the other places, comic book and everything else, Cinema Blend, etc. And, ultimately they want us to like the product because they know what we say when we go out and we talk to people is very influential. But they're also realistic too. They know what they have, and but ultimately they're given a job. And so I went to London and I saw Justice League and with a bunch of all my peers, and it was a mixed bag. I don't think anybody walked out hating it. I think everybody kind of walked out scratching their heads. Just kind of like, that's like, it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, but it sure as hell wasn't like, this wasn't Avengers Endgame level Justice League, which is what it should have been, right? It should have been something on that scale, or at least the Avengers, right? With the Avengers director, you would think, right? But he just, obviously dropped the ball and followed into the street. So that ultimately is where things kind of, we started to see the chinks in that armor, and we were just like, man, it's not awful. It's certainly not great. It's like and I think the term that I used at the time to describe it was the most Marvel movie DC had ever made. And I think that's probably still pretty true. I think everybody knew that this was not the movie that was being sold initially. It wasn't the movie that was being marketed at Comic-Con when I sat in Hall H watching that trailer, and everybody was like, holy shit, just did not have that punch. It's just very obvious. So thankfully that's behind us now. You could keep your Justice League copy on the shelf, just as like a historical document, I guess. And then you can put Zack Snyder's Justice League in there very soon and be all the better. Yeah, yeah, I got hit by a semi truck. Exactly. Let's see, Armando. Exactly, because if The Old Guard and Charlize had hit theaters and think it would have flopped or had made a small amount, and now it got debuted on Netflix, is now getting a sequel. Yeah, like I watched The Old Guard. I'm actually a huge fan of the Old Guard comic. I highly recommend that. It's far better than the movie. Great art by Leandro Fernandez. Just awesome. Who also worked on The Punisher Max. Great run there too, as well. If you're looking for comics to read. But the Old Guard comic is great. But yeah, the movie was fine, right? Like the Old Guard didn't. I have no desire to watch it again. I'm good. Like, check that block. We're good. But yeah, they're gonna make another one. But how do we know that it was actually huge or not? But then again, we're also looking at a whole different kind of audience that are watching these movies at home, right? Like the people that are at home watching streaming movies now, these are just everyday people, a lot of them that may not have typically gone to the theater. So they're, in many ways, it's almost like they're brand new. Their taste buds are developing for movies that they had never really seen before or never would normally see before. So you have a whole new kind of audience that's soaking these movies in. And that's what's changing. It's going to change everything. It's going to change the theatrical model as well. I just don't foresee the people that are sitting at home kind of enjoying these weekly new drops being like, oh man, forget this. Let me pay $70 for the night, get in my car, drive to the theater, park, walk in, wait for snacks that are way overpriced, then get seated and deal with, loud, stinky customers, fellow patrons in the theater. I think that's what it's going to be difficult to entice those people back. I spent $70 this morning pre-ordering my food and tickets for Godzilla vs. Kong. And, even though it's, I got to choose my seats, it's in a nice theater. Not everybody's going to be ready to do that. Think about how much you're paying per month right now for all of your streaming services. Okay. I was talking about this with Chris Bumbray on the Beard and the Bald podcast. Once again, another plug. These are dropping next week, by the way. I'll plug it again at the end. But I was talking about that, with Chris in terms of, people getting back to the theaters and just not wanting to deal with that. Let's see here. Let me hit back. Let me hear. Let me see here. How long is the history lesson? I don't know exactly how long, but it's far longer than what we got in Justice League. That was from Jake Barnes. Far longer than what we got there. So you can anticipate seeing a much longer sequence. How long? Again, I don't. So here's the thing: when I for anybody that's just showing up or is just dropping in, I haven't seen it. I've talked to many people that have. Again, I don't want to violate their trust and give out specific details. And I didn't want to know spoilers. So that was another thing too. When I'm talking to them, I'm like, whoa, stop. Don't tell me anymore. Because I want to wait. I want to experience those surprises myself too. And I know people that I was talking to, they're dying for me to see it so that we can talk about it, including Chris Bumbray. So, but the history lesson from my understanding is much longer. How in-depth and different, I couldn't tell you. Also, I don't want to know right now, but it is different. Class Ulysses, by the way, Paul, I love your posters behind you. Thank you. I don't know if you guys, so let me see. I just got Man of Steel. The other day, I finally ordered it. There's like a couple different variations of the Man of Steel poster, and I've always been trying to track down a very specific one. And that's one of them. There's actually another one that I like, the one where he's kind of like turned and like looking towards Earth. I want that one, but I can only find it in quad size, and obviously that doesn't fit in that space. So, but that one's really good. I think that's the UK one, and I dig it. Makes me happy. So thank you. Let's see here. Justice League gets a tad worse with every rewatch. The action isn't very good. No, it's not. And you really feel the Joss Whedon scenes. I know I do specifically, where I'm just like, you can just spot it. And what's so jarring is watching Justice League, and then when you see very Zack Snyder moments where you're like, and they feel like shoved in there. They don't make sense in the overall scheme of it. Yeah, I feel like we're going to find out a lot more about the Justice League as time goes on. I think that more will be revealed. And I think it'll become an example, very much kind of like the new Star Wars trilogy of like what not to do when you're in a situation like that. Armando, where's the Die Hard poster? I'm not gonna let you down, buddy. It's right there. I mean, Die Hard is my all-time favorite movie, so of course I'm gonna have a Die Hard poster. Let's not get crazy. Critical Mass. Okay, I answered that one with the history lesson thing. Chris talking about the Snyder Cut. Yes, believe it or not, I can say this for Chris. He's very excited to talk about the Snyder Cut. So I know it's crazy, but here we are. He's very excited. Critical Mass. From the people you've talked to, have they described how different the same scenes are, i.e. the underground tunnel scene, or how similar or how different? They have not, mostly because I haven't asked. But I will say the one thing that I've heard unanimously is that it is an entirely different movie. So, God, I'm sure I want to tell you guys more, but we're all going to find out this week anyways, regardless. But I know that you're going to see some redemption for some characters in terms of how they've been portrayed since. Most notably Wonder Woman. I think people are going to be very happy with the Wonder Woman scenes, especially that opening sequence. Let's see. Javier, reshoots are very noticeable. The actor's physical changes, the very poor green screen. It's horrible. Absolutely. You know what I always think about as I think about the scene after they resurrect Clark and then they go back to the Batcave, and Batman is like lifting up his shirt and you can see like the bruises on him, and it just looks so half-assed, right? Like it looks terrible. The costume, everything. It's like, here, just put this fucking Batman t-shirt on. No one's going to care. Who gives a shit? Like, that's how it felt. I was just like, this is awful. It looks terrible. Oh, man. Armando, speaking of Die Hard, do not watch Cosmic Sin with Bruce Willis and Grillo. So horrible, worse than a Seagal DTV movie. I believe you. That's probably true. I have not watched, I think maybe one of the Bruce Willis DTV movies, but most of the time I just steer clear, man. I don't want anything to do with that. Bruce has been an utter disappointment as an actor for me in the last decade or so. And it's weird because he'll pop in and do something cool, right? Like out of nowhere, or attempt to do something cool, because I didn't like Glass. But he'll do something like Moonrise Kingdom. He'll jump into a Wes Anderson movie or something weird, and then he just goes back to making shit. Ultimately, I think it's just paychecks, right? It's the Nicolas Cage thing. These guys are just, it's like easy money, and that's where it comes from. Let's see, Javier, exactly. Even the costumes look like trash, like they didn't fit well. Yeah, absolutely. Critical Mass looks like an Under Armour dry fit shirt. It does. It looks bad. Do you think we'll see some Omega beams? Man, if we don't, I think we'll see a tease, some kind of tease. Maybe it's something that Zack will save for a hopeful continuation of his saga, one would hope. I don't know that he's going to let every cat out of the bag. And I just know that there is setup, that there is cliffhanger, that there is absolutely a road paved that's ready to be driven down. So it is my hope that we are able to go down that road. Same as you guys, Ultimately, I've just always been a Zack Snyder fan. I don't love every single movie he's done. I've said many times I don't love Sucker Punch. I love aspects of Sucker Punch. I love the first 2/3. The last third I don't like at all. In fact, I usually turn the movie off before I even get to that point if I rewatch it. But I love them. I actually love all of his other films. I think they're great. I love his style. I even like his Owl movie, The Guardians of Ga'Hoole. It's been a while since I watched it. Maybe I won't feel the same if I rewatched it. It's not exactly what I rewatch all the time, but you know, as far as his comic book work, like, is just fucking astounding. Like, Zack Snyder is just an outstanding filmmaker when it comes to adapting, like, comic book material. And I think Army of the Dead, which is a new original piece from him, is just going to be amazing. You guys don't even know, and I will not spoil it. I don't want it spoiled for me, even based on what I know. I don't want to see any more, just because I know the level of coolness that's in Army of the Dead. Philip Baker, have you heard if there are conversations that are being had about that road continuing? No. I don't think that there are. That's my feeling. Reason being, I think right now it's hold, squat, wait. HBO Max, Warner Brothers, everybody, they're saying, well, let's see how this thing does, right? Let's see how this performs. Hang on, I gotta close my door. All right, sorry about that. They are literally plowing. We got dumped on snow-wise the other day. I mean, I know some of you may in the Midwest and whatnot. I don't know where everybody is from, but the snow has been crazy this year if you get snow in your area, and we got hit hard. But I turned it into a snow day. It was fun, so we made a snow fort, which they're now literally taking away. There's literally a bulldozer that is taking my snow fort. Let's see here. So anyways, Philip, back to your question. Have I heard anything about that continuing? No, and again, I just think that Warner Brothers are just watching. This is a watch moment right now. All eyeballs are on how this performs, and sadly, we're not going to be privy to those numbers. So they're not going to let us know what those are, but they will let us know if it's a success or a flop, right? And I think if it is huge and if it's as big as I hope or suspect it might be, I think that it really does open the doors for the Snyderverse. And I think, again, kind of one of the things that I had wanted to talk about initially coming on here was we have to, use the Restore the Snyderverse hashtag, but don't be assholes about it. Don't attack Warner Brothers, okay? This is not how you're going to get what you want. This isn't about healthcare, okay? This is about entertainment, all right? This isn't a stimulus check. This isn't a human rights kind of thing where you need to protest and demand things. It's like, hey, we really like this. Thank you for, seriously, HBO Max made Zack Snyder's Justice League happen. These are just the facts. So attacking them and going after them is just the wrong answer. Don't do that, okay? All right? I'm just telling you. Listen, you're not do what I say. Everybody's going to do what they want, and that's fine. I'm just saying that if you want a certain Snyderverse to continue, attacking HBO Max and all that, trying to say, hey, why the hell did you guys not release this the way it was before and blah, 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 it's not going to do any good. Classy, you're in Texas, yeah. You definitely got hit with some ice. Let's see here. Javier, have you heard anything about Leto's Joker? Is it better than SS? I have heard about the Joker. And I have heard that it's better. Very different than Suicide Squad, which would make sense because it's in the Nightmare sequence. Let's see here. Classy. I'll say MOS, BVS, and Watchmen in 4K looks spectacular. You ain't lying. It definitely does. Philip Barker. Well, you're in California, Sacramento. Hey. Javier from Venezuela. Wow. You guys have snow in Venezuela? Wow. I had no idea. That's crazy. I've learned something tonight. There's snow in Venezuela. I mean, I guess there's got to be snow in Central America at some point, but... Or Southern America, rather. That's crazy. Anyways, I think that's about it. That's all that I had to say about Zack Snyder's Justice League. In that sense, I was going to go over some other news, but The only other thing that I could really find of note, and some of the stuff we'll talk about on the Beard and the Bald podcast, quite a bit of it, but I did think it was cool that Michael B. Jordan is going to direct Creed 3. I thought that was pretty cool news this week. So I like that he's kind of like taken on that Sylvester Stallone role where Stallone was directing and starring and writing and doing all that stuff. So I'm very curious to see what he does, and I think that's cool. I think Stallone probably pushed him, into taking that on. I think that's pretty awesome. So, and really, I just love the Rocky movies and I love the Creed movies. I just want to see that legacy continue. So I'm all in for it. JP3, did I not answer this? The VFX quality. From everything that I've heard, the VFX are amazing, and that they really just knocked it out of the park. Again, it feels like a totally different movie from what everybody is saying. So you have that to look forward to. And everything that we've been seeing in the promos, I think we can all agree, looks fantastic, no? I mean, Jesus, just look at Steppenwolf. Whoo! That's night and day. That is night and day. To me, he looked like some kind of weird, like, pasty-faced Freddy Krueger with horns in the Justice League. But this, like, spike-headed, freaky monster-looking Steppenwolf in Zack Snyder's version looks awesome. He looks scary in a good, like, in a legit scary way, rather than a scary, like, oh my god, you look horrible. So, yeah. I'm very excited for the nightmare scene. Yeah, same. I mean, we didn't even get it in the Justice League version, so there you have it. So anyways, if you guys want to ask any questions, I'll open up the floor. You guys have been asking questions, but if you guys have anything, Zack Snyder related, or if you guys have any questions otherwise, go ahead and hit me up now. I'll stick around and answer any questions that you guys have, whatever they may be. Open up the floor, if you will. And then I'm going to go eat dinner after that. Let's see. Critical mass. People need to know the difference between bad CGI and stylized CGI. The backgrounds and skylines of Zack's work are clearly fake, but it's not trying to be realistic. Yeah, exactly. Like, the other thing, too, is you have to remember, we're adapting comic books. We're not adapting, like, real life things. These are comic books. It's okay. Like, 300... I wouldn't want to see 300 any other way. It's obviously hyper stylized, it's almost metaphoric, but it's brilliant in that way. I love that. Let's see. What's for Din Din? I literally have Subway sitting. I did Uber Eats Subway, so it's literally at my doorstep right now. But it's more, I'm here to talk to you guys. I'm not going to break to go get my Subway. It's right there. It's fine. It's not going anywhere. Ulysses, I'll purchase the Beard and the Bald hoodie by the end of the month. Sweet! Yeah, that's actually a good time to mention that while you guys think up any questions that you may have. But this is the Beard and the Bald hoodie. Bring it up a little bit so you guys can see. Whoop, whoop. Also has the Beard and the Bald on the back. You guys can see it there. So, this is the hoodie. This is a Champion brand. You guys can see that. The Champion brand logo. So, it's a good one for like working out or just real general comfort. It's actually very comfortable. I'm not wearing it to like suffering so that you guys will buy one. But I hope that you do. If you listen to the show, people have asked for merch in the past, and quite honestly, it'd be nice to make even just a few nickels to rub together to help finance the show. At this point, the show costs me money, and I got to start moving to a model where I'm making some money off of the things that I do, because otherwise I won't be able to do them anymore. And I like to be able to continue to do them. So it does help support myself and Chris, and keeps the show going. You do have options. There's different color options. I think there's black, white, steel gray. This is heather gray. This is a heather gray one, and a royal blue, because it actually looks really good with the blue. I might actually get a blue one as well. There will also be t-shirts, and then a zip-up hoodie. Which I just sent one to my girlfriend because I want her to model it for us. Well, very specific modeling for me, specific modeling for you, so that you guys can see what it looks the zip-up looks like. And also there's a poster, so if you'd rather get a poster, I just ordered the poster, so I don't have a sample yet, but it's going to be dope. It's going to look great. So All that stuff is going to be available next week, and I will post a link and share it. I'll put it in the Beard and the Bald link each week as well, in the show link, so you guys can check it out there and buy at your leisure. And then Patreon is coming along. I'm getting product made. They're very specific product for Patreon, so that you guys will get something special and cool if you decide to sign up for that. And your support will be so amazing if you guys sign up for that. And I think it's going to be fun. Be extra shows, extra content, all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be fun. Let's see here. Subway is the best. Yes, Subway is the best. Subway is a game changer. Subway is like a savior sometimes. It's just like, dude, let's just do Subway. Javier, it only snows sometimes here in Venezuela, in Merida, where the highest mountain chain is, but about 16K feet, I believe, but I have not been there when it's snowing. Well, at least you're not getting dumped on here. That's good. Critical Mass, can you compare it to the Zack Snyder Justice League hoodie in terms of quality, if you know what I mean? The Zack Snyder Justice League one is slightly softer in terms of like the overall softness. This is not rough. It's still soft. It's actually softer on the inside here. But the Zack Snyder one is very cozy, and I like that. But if I was going outside and I was going to be outside for a longer amount of time, I would wear this. This is warmer. So that's the one good thing. Well, many good things. And again, it's Champion brand, so I wanted to make sure that it was a good brand. And I've tested out all of the stuff that we're selling because I don't want you guys to like pay for shit. Because I get pissed, right? Like if I buy something, like especially to support somebody that I like or if I'm a fan of, like I hate when I get sent something and I'm like, damn, that design was so cool, but the fit sucks. So I'm testing it all. I'm testing it all out. My girlfriend is testing it out. Actually, we tested out a tumbler, like a coffee mug tumbler, and I wasn't happy with the design. Didn't come out well. My girlfriend said it didn't keep the coffee warm. I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm taking it off. Like I don't want you guys to buy crap. I don't, everybody's money matters. So, if you guys are going to buy something from us, I want it to be good. So I genuinely like this hoodie. The fit is great. It's awesome. The t-shirt is great. The t-shirt, it's a thinner, like athletic style shirt. So I recommend a size up whatever you normally get, size up. One size up for the t-shirt. And I'll reiterate that when we put those links out. Let's see here. The back of your hoodie logo reminds me of a bit of Miyagi-Do Bonsai. It kind of does. Like, it's actually what is the logo? Or the font, rather. It's kind of like an Old English type font, and then with the logo. But I wanted it to have our name on there, so like if you're wearing this hoodie, people are like, what the hell is that? You just see Beard and the Bald with like this awesome card design, which is drawn and created by myself. But I wanted people to know, so people be like, no, dude, this is a podcast I listen to. You should listen to it. Classy, you're going to get a black one. Sweet. Definitely use it to work out. Use it to work out. Use it to just chill around the house. Going outside. It's I like a good hoodie that I can just grab and go, right? So if I show you guys my downstairs, you go downstairs, like I got hoodies just hanging up and jackets. So I like a grab and go. This is an easy one for that. Let's see here. Classy, you got my support. Thanks, man. Truly. Classy says the Rocky movie collection is on HBO Max, and my dad is watching it along with Lucifer, which he loves so much. You just can't go wrong with the Rocky movies. Even the worst Rocky movie is still great. I think it's probably Rocky 5, right? Ooh, Cinemachine. What's up, guys? What up, Paul? Brandon from Capecast. Love the show tonight, and especially hearing the feedback about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Can't wait to see it, and hopefully have you back on Capecast to get out about it. Cheers, man. Hey, thanks for checking in, man. Appreciate you guys. The guys at Capecast, great guys. I really enjoyed going on their podcast. And if you guys are Zack Snyder Justice League fans or just fans in general, those are two really great guys on that show. And I just had a great time. It was really fun talking to those guys. Classy, where you guys get the Zack Snyder Justice League hoodie? I bought mine from Ink to the People when Zack posted it. I don't know if they have the same one. I've actually gone and looked a number of times at the DC shop. So I don't know if you guys know this. They have a bunch of Zack Snyder's Justice League merch there. So shirts, hoodies, T-shirts, and stuff like that. Some of them look really cool. My concern is a lot of them are just all 100% cotton. And that tends to kind of feel like a burlap bag, which is not fun for your skin. And dude, I'm kind of a t-shirt, hoodie, like I'm a merch whore. That's just the truth of it, if I'm being honest. Like, I just love merch, man. Like, I love that stuff. Like, I love having personalized stuff. Like, if I was a fan of my podcast and listening to it, I'd be like, dude, I need to get a hoodie. Like, it's a way you can kind of express what you love, what you like, and kind of just, rock it out in the world. I think that's cool. I mean, it's, you can go to Target and you can buy a Pulp Fiction shirt. I might have already done that. But, you could go to Target, right, and you can buy something that everybody else has. But I think it's cooler if you could go and buy something that not everybody has and not everybody's even heard of. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get an opportunity to kind of, just express yourself with the shit that you love rather than the shit that Target says you should love, and here's your options. So I think that's pretty cool. But there are there's an assortment of things at the DC shop. I would rather buy stuff from Ink to the People through Zack than through the DC shop, but again, it's like it's more about the quality that bothers me, and the price is pretty high. It's pretty steep. I've tried to keep our prices as fair as possible so that we can make some modicum of profit, but believe me, it's not a lot. So that's pretty much where it's at. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight, guys. If you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to go and get my Subway off the porch and probably watch Cherry tonight. I don't know what you guys are watching. I hope you guys watch something cool, find something good, maybe get caught up. And I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble on. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate you guys coming in. Seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to continue to live stream. Even if just 3 of you show up, I don't give a shit. The goal is to have as many people as possible. And also, as time goes on, raise some money through here as well to keep me going. But ultimately, I'm just happy to have you guys come in. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, more to come. Lots more to come. I got more stuff coming on the YouTube channel too. Make sure you guys subscribe. Hit the notification bell in case... If you hit the notification bell, you always hear this. They always hear that, like, hey, hit the notification bell. It's not a tactic per se to like trick you. It'll send you an email or a notification when I go live. So if it's something that interests you, hit the notification bell. So then you'll get an email that says, hey, Arctic Ninja Paul is live. Then you can go jump in. Maybe you're not spending all day on Twitter like I do when I shouldn't be. So this way it just lets you know when I'm up or if I put some new content up. So, but I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's support. God bless all you guys. Stay true fans, stay cool, and love what you love. But again, just the overall message for tonight is let's not attack the people that made Zack Snyder's Justice League happen, and let's not attack the people that are in the peripherals. It's not going to make any difference. It's not going to help. I think just stay positive, push forward for this movement. Let's enjoy this gift that we're about to get this week. So that's it. Thanks again, guys, and I hope you guys have a great one. Cheers.